I really like your dress.
Thank you.
So wearing flowers. The thing I really liked about your speech was that it was very practical. So it had a very clear purpose.
Yeah.
It was why. So I was sitting there, I was thinking, why is this important? You gave that from the get-go. If you do these things, you're going to die younger. If you don't do these things, you're going to have a longer life. That's powerful, just as a main point. It was also very practical because you showed us physically and exactly how we're going to put this into our life. It wasn't just a case of, don't sit so much. Here's all of these bad things that will happen, and someone is sitting there going, well, I'm a computer programmer. I don't really know how to get around that. So you gave very practical advice, so people could sit there and go, yes, I can actually do this. So in that way, it was persuasive because it was very logical and very practical. It was also quite engaging, even though you were a little bit fast. It was engaging because you kind of spoke powerfully and you had good vocal variety, and most importantly, you used a lot of humor. So you're doing these moves and you're saying, okay, do the Titanic, I chose this dress very particularly. So that was a way of keeping your audience watching, and everybody was doing the moves and everyone was following what you were doing. So they were the really good things. I think the main thing that needed was that, and we talked about it during the break, that it was just a little bit rushed. And I guess while doing the moves, you didn't have the time to put in some extra information, to slow down, to add a story, to give a stronger conclusion or beginning. So I get that. Maybe the only advice I could do, maybe you did the routine twice, maybe you could have done it once, or maybe you could have showed it from an emoji or something. I don't exactly know. Because you were showing practically how to do it. I think what it lacked a little bit was the kind of emotional persuasion, and you can do that through maybe adding some extra facts. Like you gave some facts, but it was basically you'll die younger. Okay, because I actually googled that, as it's linked to all of these things, colon cancer and this. You could talk about you could talk about your personal story. I had a terrible backache. All of these things. I think particularly a really nice story would have added to it. Maybe, just your, as you're sitting at the office, take out the chair, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You're working hard to build a future for your family. Maybe, perhaps, the photo is sitting there, your son and your daughter. You're looking for that future. Little bit do you know that the clock is ticking, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Tears. So I think it was a really good speech in that I walked away and said, yeah, actually I could do that at work. But it might be one of those things where you hear all these things, if you do this, if you don't eat your vegetables, you're going to die sooner. If you don't go to the gym 5 times a week, you're going to die sooner. One of those things, if you don't have that strong emotional impact, that you're going to do it for a day or a week, and it might not have the long-term impact. But overall, I thought it was a very good speech, very well researched, organised, so welcome.
Thank you.